Okay, this is a good question, but most law firms and also bars in California are required to take a certain amount of continuing education each year. So this is just an example. A lot of firms will not have that. I don't know. Some firms will allow you to take CLE credits during work, others won't. You can certainly ask questions about that. But the problem with asking questions like that, and I just think this is a good question for a lot of reasons. Any question that highlights not billing hours that the law firm is not good at, the law firm is not good at, it is a bad question. Or it's often a question. What does that mean? That means that you have to be very careful about the questions you ask. I have seen so many people not get jobs or lose jobs by going into law firms and asking questions that highlight not billing hours or something that the law firm is not good at. So, what does that mean? So, that means first thing is you go in and you start asking about pro bono, how much pro bono is allowed. You start asking about things like paternity leave. Maternity leave, vacation policy, not working, working remotely, all these sorts of things. If you ask about, so I've seen so many people literally go into interviews and lose jobs by asking about pro bono. If you ask about pro bono, that's going to basically show the firm that there's nothing wrong with going into a firm and doing pro bono. It's a good thing, and you can often learn a lot and become a better attorney. But if you go on an interview and you ask about that, the law firm is not going to think that you're going to want to work all the time. They need people. Just put it yourself firm's choice. Would you choose someone for your firm, someone that wants to work, someone that wants to work a lot of hours and commit themselves? Someone that wants to commit themselves to you, commit themselves to work, or someone that wants to do pro bono? And this is a typical question, but it's a very important one. And that's why I'm bringing it up to you. So people ask to do pro bono. People ask these kind of questions all the time. They think these are good questions. They think that asking about pro bono is something that, and again, people think this is important. And I'm not saying that doing pro bono work is not important, but I really want to bring this up because this matches a ton of types of questions that people ask. People go to law schools almost, I think every single one of them. Some of them are like 98% Democratic. And when I'm not saying that one or the other, but people learn that's what's expected of them, that this is the best thing when they're in law school, to be taught by people from backgrounds that, but the problem is when you get out in the business world, the law firm just wants you to bill hours and dedicate yourself to them. And if you start asking questions about things like this, it's going to give the opposite impression. So what does that mean exactly? So I see resumes all the time of people that simply are not getting jobs. And the reason that they're not getting jobs is very simple. They're going in and they're doing things like they're listing things on their resume that have absolutely nothing to do with what the law firm wants. And here's what they'll do. I see people from Columbia, Harvard, all these different great law schools, NYU, that find themselves inexplicably to them not getting positions. And they're saying that they're applying to the right places, they're using good recruiters, and they're doing all sorts of things that should make it very easy for them to get positions. And yet here they are, nothing positive is happening to them, and they're not getting jobs. So what's going on? Why no jobs? So what they will do, these people that aren't getting jobs, unemployed people not getting jobs, is they will have things on their resume. And again, I'm just telling you what happens. I'm not judging this. I'm not on one side of this issue or not. I don't care. I don't care. I just want people to get jobs. So what are they doing? So they will do things like they will say, did pro bono, they could be a corporate attorney. I don't care. They'll say corporate. Then they'll talk about all the pro bono that they did at their previous job. And sometimes this is insane. They will list like 2 or 3 lines about pro bono before they even start. This is very common, by the way. I just wanted to make everyone, this is very common, but I think it's insane. 2 or 3 lines about their pro bono work. And then we'll basically say, also assigned to corporate and did general corporate work or something. But insane. And they will literally do this when they're looking for a job that could pay $280,000 a year. This is what they're doing. And these people, it doesn't matter. No one cares about their schools. No one cares about where they're from. They just know that this person is a freaking bad deal because they are not going to be committed. And the firm has a choice. They have a choice of someone that wants nothing to do but practice law and someone that wants to do something else. And they will choose the person that wants to do nothing but practice law every single time. And why did they do that? Because their business is. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wanting to do this. A business also can do good in the community and do pro bono, but someone that looks like that's all they want to do is freaking toast. Or if they make that first, or if they even list that they did it on their resume, or they ask questions about this, they're toast. No one is going to, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work. Sometimes people will list all sorts of stuff about affinity or whatever on their resume. They'll say this and this and this and won't get jobs and they won't know why. You could sit there and you could talk all about Democrat or talk all about whatever in every job that you have. And if you're interviewing with a firm that's not like that, it's going to hurt you. So you have to be very careful. You have to basically look like someone that's there to do work, someone that isn't on the side of one issue or another, and that's it. So you have to be careful. I'm just telling everyone, if you learn this one thing, it could save your freaking career. No one's going to tell you, by the way, that listing all this stuff on your resume is going to hurt you because they don't want to be on the wrong side of something and have people mad. But you just have to be very careful. I will tell you a quick story. I'm not going to don't judge this. I'm not on the side of this issue. I'm not calling law firms anything. I had a candidate after September 11th, 2000, was looking for a job in New York City. He went to great law school. I don't remember what it was, Stanford or whatever. He had was working at an incredible law firm, one of the top law firms, and he decided to look for a position. And he had all sorts of stuff on his resume, and he was all over that talked about stuff that was not in vogue at the time, being part of a group that was not in vogue. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble, meaning that people were suspicious of him and all whatever, and not a single interview. Whereas other people that didn't have that, that had frankly worse qualifications, were getting interviews. So you just have to be very careful about what you're putting on your resume and if you think it's going to get a job. If you're applying to positions in very conservative parts of South Carolina and you have all sorts of stuff in your resume, it's not going to hurt you. So you just need to be very cognizant of this. I'm telling people this because everything needs to be toned down. You don't want to talk the interesting polo. You don't want to talk about things that are going to take a lot of your time. You just have to be very careful. So paternity leave. I've seen people, and again, I'm not judging this. I'm not on one side of the issue. I've seen people at major law firms listing going in or taking paternity leave and coming back and suddenly being frozen out of work. No one wants to work with them anymore. I've seen attorneys that have asked about this in interviews, not good jobs. Asking about vacations, not a good idea. It shows you want to be doing other things. Asking about working remotely when you have no idea what the firm thinks about that is a really freaking bad idea. Showing you don't want to come into the office. So all these things, man, you just need to, I'm just warning everyone that you want to be very careful about asking these kind of questions. It will make you toast and you won't know why. You'll think, why does the law firm not like me? Or why am I not getting jobs? You make your resume and your questions and your resume and the questions you ask should make you a mystery. Like they should not, unless the firms like that, they should make you a mystery. People do not know your feelings about pro bono. People do not know your political leanings. People do not know anything. You do not know your religion. Unless you want to go with this stuff, you do not put this on your freaking resume. You do not ask questions about it. And again, I'm not on the side of one of these issues or not. I'm not, I don't care. All I want you to do is to get a job. And if you do this stuff, it can hurt you. I'm just telling you why that is. I'm not saying I'll make you a mystery. I'm not saying that I believe in it. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that you just be very careful because it's potentially going to make one third of the people like you and the third not necessarily.